Good morning in Burgos. Look who I found. Roofie, my old friend. What a good boy. Gilbert's inside getting a sello on his credencial. And then, andiamo, eh? Roofie, Roofie. Roofie, come on. Come on. Come on. That's just the way. I gotta make sure he doesn't get hit by this car. Okay, boy. Okay. Good boy. I love this dog. Okay. Look at this beautiful day. We are gonna go that way. I could have started down by my hotel and took a shortcut through town. It wouldn't have been much shorter, but now I get to see the complete route, picking up from where I left off. I'll check in on you later. I'm gonna make sure that Gilbert gets his stamp and Roofie finds Gilbert. Ciao. Okay, so I get to walk by this crusty old church again. No problem. I don't mind it. On my way out of town. Let's see. Yesterday was absolutely wild. The end of the night, as you saw, after the mass, I went and had in the procession. I went and had a nice healthy raciones of patatas y jamón y huevos y parmesan, and a glass or two of tinto. And then Mary joined me, and then we got pinged from some other folks, and then stopped by the grocery store, and then more and more people. I mean, there might have been like 25 of us pilgrims in and out of that wine bar over the course of a few hours. It was really incredible. And it struck me that, there's this crazy energy on the Camino any time of year, I would imagine. And then there's this absolutely wild energy concerning Semana Santa, which especially started on Thursday in Grañón. They talked about it and carried over the next 4 days. And then landing in Burgos for Easter Sunday was just this incredible pinnacle of celebration. And all of my Camino family, my group of friends that we've been building, really felt all that energy. It's indescribable. And I think it's one of those things that, I know I took some pictures, I've talked about it, but there's really no way for me to convey what the feeling was. It was really great, and I'm glad that I did it. Here's another one of these. These ones are all over Burgos. Roofie's following me. No, don't follow me. So today we set out. Adios is at 18 kilometers, but I think I can go maybe a little further. I didn't sleep in as much as I thought I was going to. I just couldn't. I woke up at like 6 in the morning. I don't know why. And then I woke up again at about 7:30, and I figured I'd get up. I'd do some data management on my phone, syncing. I'm all caught up on my upload, so maybe I should just clear my camera roll from my phone and get rid of all of it. I don't necessarily need those things. So we'll see what happens today. I've had a lot of thoughts pop into my mind that I want to chat about on the meseta, but I don't necessarily, I'm not prepared to do it yet. I want to kind of flesh out the ideas a little bit more, I think, before I do so. So I'm going to find myself some café con leche and maybe a croissant, and we'll see you later. Ciao. Is that a heron? or a stork. I don't know what kind of bird that is. Someone tell me. Maybe I'll ask a peregrino. Something that immediately strikes me is, and I know I said I would come back and talk about it later. I'm soon entering this phase of the Camino that is known as la meseta. And the best analogy would be that this is going to be similar to just spending a week or two walking through the cornfields of Nebraska. Very flat, largely desolate, and it's known for its solitude. Some people would say it's boring. I'm actually I'm very much looking forward to walking that boring part so I can really think without too much distraction. More on that later, but the point of saying that is that there are long stretches without water availability, so I hear, and maybe it's going to be tough to find food, maybe not, but I went out of the way, went to the market yesterday. I got some meat and a big old chunk of cheese, which I've sliced up, a couple apples. I actually got a jar of peanut butter, but I was a little overjoyed by finding the peanut butter, and I didn't bother. It seemed really heavy. And it's only this morning that I realized the jar of peanut butter is glass. So I'm not gonna want to carry that for long. I need to find out a way to transfer it into a better container, or maybe I will go ahead and count it as a loss of €4.50 and leave it at my destination for the end of the day for other people to enjoy, and then maybe I'll look for something that's plastic or lighter or a smaller container. But my bag feels fairly heavy this morning. Also, maybe it's just my feet need to get used to it because yesterday was a 0 day. Got to get back into it. Anyway, ciao. This one's like a disco ball. Very cool. I will say, the exit out of Burgos, for me, is much nicer than the entrance to Burgos. Lovely park that we're walking in. Still so many statues and pieces of art, etc., etc. You saw plenty of them yesterday. Let your imagination run wild. They really are all over the place. This seems like a very nice part of town. There's a wall here. I think that's a park really on the other side. And there's some kind of very old building up there. I don't really know what it is. This seems like a gym facility of some kind. But I was eating an apple. I started a little late this morning. Not that I feel a pressure for time anymore. Now the push to Burgos is complete. I'll talk about that later. I feel like I'm entering a different stage of this journey in my mind, the way I'm thinking about it anyway. And I was just eating an apple. I didn't want to unpack, get out my bag and unload it and sit down and blah, blah, blah. So I just found a cafe, popped in. This time I got a cafe solo. So just a shot of espresso, came with a little cookie and a tiny little slice of cake. It was delicious. A little bit of sugar, wait for the thing to cool down. A few sips to enjoy the, what do they call it? The layer on top. Now I feel like a fool. But finished it, chuffed it, and I was out of there in 3 or 4 minutes. It was very cool. Yeah, just a cafe solo, very quickly, and now I'm back on it. We're doing the thing today. I can't remember if I mentioned it, but the typical stage, I know I'm not getting hung up on stages, and some of the best surprises have come from being off stage, but the stage today goes to adios, And that is approximately an 18-kilometer walk. That's only 10 miles. And right now, it is, I don't think I turned my watch on, actually. It's got to be 9:30. So that would mean that I'm pulling into Adios around noon. That's too early. So we'll see how my feet feel, actually. And we'll play it by ear. Again, I'm feeling a sense of freedom that I didn't have before, because I had a self-imposed goal of reaching Burgos on Easter Sunday. And I met the goal. It was hard work. I had to incur a bit of suffering to make it happen, but it totally paid off. But now I have nothing. All I have left is X amount of days to walk as far as I want to, as far as I feel I need to. Again, I think I would very much like to make it all the way to Santiago. I would like to walk every step, but circumstances change. We've got friends that have had to use the bus or a taxi or et cetera, et cetera. It's not a game breaker for me. So I'm just going to keep moving. And then perhaps if there's time left, maybe finish there. Who knows what? I have no requirements anymore other than I need to be in Madrid on May 21st for my current flight. And even that's not a tight requirement. I could move that up. I could maybe push it back a little bit. I want to be home by the 23rd because that's my 10-year anniversary. And I'd very much like to see my wife for my 10-year anniversary. Anyway, ciao. Hola, buen camino. I see a couple peregrinos up ahead, and they kind of look like they're walking like penguins. I don't think their feet are feeling too good. Let's see. Sí, señor, por favor. Café. Stopped in a tienda. Got some bun to go with my cheese and my meat. I'm gonna have a little sandwich. I should have had her cut it in half. Lesson learned. Either get a knife or have them cut the bread. I can do one or the other. Ciao. Aha! Buenos dias, buen camino. I am entering this little town called Rabe de las Calzadas. I'm not stopping here, I don't think. It's still plenty early. Weather looks fine. I just had, in that last little town, I sat by kind of an abandoned church and had my own little picnic of some nice cheese. It was kind of like a Parmesan-y, but it was local to Burgos, and not as bitey or hard as Parmesan. And I had some ham, although it was the cheap ham like we Americans eat ham, sliced ham, not the jamon iberico, which is a nice break for my palate and my digestive system. A little bit of fresh bread. It was just very nice. And then I had saved a little piece of pound cake that came with a coffee that I had yesterday. So that was very, very good. Here's Rabe de las Calzadas. I love that art. Another piece of pilgrim art up here. Utrea, they say. Keep going. I'm hoping that maybe, even though I know I just had like a little picnic, it was really pleasant. Put on some layers. I'm hoping I can find a cafe that's open. Maybe get a coffee or a beer, something like that. My knee is just a little bit stiff today. I think it's probably because of the extra weight I put on. Not that I put on, but that I'm carrying in the form of food that I picked up yesterday. But I don't know. I wonder, it's the peanut butter, it's that glass jar and the big size of the jar. I wonder if there's an opportunity somewhere to get a smaller container that I can put maybe half of that peanut butter in. Or, I'm not stuck on a percentage of the peanut butter, but that glass jar is a killer. Plus, I wouldn't want to drop my bag and have it shatter. That would be awful. So, anyway, I'm going to try to find a place and grab maybe a beer. I think that sounds good. We'll see what happens. Definitely a coffee if I can. Buen camino. No. super cool experience. Let me get my poles out of the way. Just went into that church in Rabe de la Casaras. Nice artwork. This little boombox near the altar playing Ave Maria. Set a beautiful tone. Just kind of walked and appreciated all the pictures on the wall, and in the back corner there's this little old lady, and she asked if I wanted a stamp for my pilgrim credencial, and I said yes. She asked where I was from, and I told her yo soy estadounidense. I'm from the United States, and she gave me a little piece of paper in English with some prayer selections, but then also these stupid poles. Like, let me manage the poles. This is terrible. And she gave me this little pendant with, I think that's Virgin Mary, and there's something on the back. I'll have to give it a closer look. But that's cool. I've heard about this kind of thing happening before in different places. And so here's a moment where it happened to me. Very cool. I don't think I have much more than about an hour to go until Hornios. And maybe I'll call it a day. We'll see. I don't know. But for now, I am enjoying the way. Ciao.
She lived in Melbourne and we visited her there. Oh. But she moved to Tassie 15 years ago. Not been there.
Oh, I highly recommend it. Okay.
Yeah.
I envy all you Europeans with your little short haul flight to stuff.
Yeah, well, we're lucky there. You've got a lovely country, and you've got lovely food, you've got all the cultures represented.
Beep, 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 beep. Hornios. My friend, you say?
De vino a vino se hace el camino.
That means from wine to wine, you make the Camino.
Yeah.
It's a giant bar crawl, folks. Thank you, Jose. Thank you, thank you. Ciao. My friend, you say?
De vino a vino se hace el camino.
That means from wine to wine, you make the Camino.
Yeah.
It's a giant bar crawl, folks. Thank you, Jose. Thank you, thank you. Ciao. We're gonna have paella for dinner tonight. Laundry service. Let's see. Is my towel dry? Not yet. And a very nice patio. Ciao.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Esa es paella con pollo. Sí. I found Pete again. And here's Susie, another Aussie. I love these people. Ciao. Oh, did I just do a video?